Hello, so today I'm going to show you how you can make your own cardboard Concorde. Let's begin. So what you want to do is you want to start by getting your scissors and cutting into your cardboard. And you want to do that for every single one you have. So today that I'll be using 3. So you've got that one, that one, that one. 2 of them will be used for the fuselage. And then what you want to do is you'll want to glue it. So you want to get it until it's like that. But what I do is I make it flat and then add glue. But then if it's too short, I just cut it off like that. And then you glue it on. And it should look like this, all thin. And yeah, let's just glue that on. Now that it looks something like this, you want to do that to every single one. So we'll just do that quickly. Okay, now you've done that, what you want to do is you want to glue them both together to make it long. Now it should look something like that. And then what you want to do, we're going to make the nose of the Concorde. So what you want to do is you want to cut it like this. And then you want to make a little triangle going from here all the way down there. So we can get that perfect nose with the Concorde. And then what you want to do after that is you want to just do this. Hold on. Yeah, you want to make your nose pointy. If you have cardboard paper, you can use that. It's way easier. But if you only have cardboard, this is the way I would advise you to do it. So you get it. Hold on. Yeah, you get it, and then so you put it like that. My nose isn't pointed. You can add a stick there just in case. And it should look something like this. If it doesn't matter. You can add a point with paper. It doesn't really matter. If yours is Concorde, it's lovely then. Okay, now you glue it on. And after you've done that, it should look like this. Now mine isn't pointed, but that's okay because you don't need it yet. Now you just want to cut it into the size that this is. Now mine is this size, but we don't want that size for the nose. So what we'll do is we'll just cut that. Maybe we can do it again because I don't think this is gonna work. Need another one. and then you want to just stuff it in there, or if you want to be fancy you can put it like that. And if yours is too big like mine is, you can always use it for the back of the plane. Now all you gotta do is just glue it on. And then at the end, if you have masking tape, you can just so if it's like this, like mine is, you can always get it and add it so it's like going in. Because if yours isn't, it doesn't really matter. But if you just feel like it's aggravating you, then you can just do that. Now it should look something like this. I'm just gonna do a little bit of that because, yes. Now what it will do is it will, if you're using hot glue like I am, you can always do this. And if you don't want to waste it, like I said, you can just get the masking tape. But now you've done the nose of the plane, you want to do the back of the plane. In my eyes, the back of the plane is the easiest to make. Yeah, so I'm gonna use paper or cardboard paper. However you wanna put it. So what you wanna do is you wanna just put that aside for 1 second. And then you wanna get this, and then you want to make it well, you want it long, because if you look at pictures of Concorde, it's long. Then you want to cut off this, and you can always use paper, because in my eyes this is the exact same thing. Once it's like this, you just glue there. Once you've glued it on like that, you just want to open it so it doesn't get stuck in the flat position. And after you've done that, you'll want to stick it on there. But first you'll need to measure how big your circle is. So what I would do is I would just cut it until I have the exact thing I want it. So like this, it's a bit big, isn't it? So it is here, and it's going to be long till it goes there. So yeah. Now we're just going to clean it up a little back here by cutting it. Okay. And now it should, so your nose is like that, and the back should be like this. Now this is the second one I've done, and I'm trying to do it quickly so mine won't look perfect, but I'm sure yours will. And make sure you make the back of the nose, the back of the plane long. I know mine isn't, and you'll probably take mine for advice, but yeah, you might have to make it longer. Now you've done the whole fuselage, what you can do now is, if you want to make the nose function, you can cut it off here. If I can cut it off, and then you should be left with the tip of your plane. And then what you can do is you can always put cardboard there, and if you have any pipe cleaners you can stick one in there, but first put cardboard over it. I'll demonstrate it because yeah, it might be a little bit difficult. So you get your cardboard, you'll cut it, and then you'll just stick it on to there, and it should look like that. But when the glue is dry, you can always just cut it a little so it's rounded. Like that. And then if you have something to put a hole in there, I'll mark it for you if I have a pen. Yeah, you'll just cut there. Okay, you'll poke a hole through there, and then once you've done that you can put your pipe cleaner through, and you can do the same with this, so it can go like, that's optional, and if you want to you can. But now we're moving on to the tail of the plane. So we'll get our cardboard, and what you'll want to do is you'll want to, so if you're looking at an image of the tail of the plane, that's perfect. But you'll want to cut it at an angle sort of, and then what you want to do is you want to switch it to like that, and then like that. It should look a little bit like this. If it doesn't, that's okay. Just perfecting. Now it should look something like that. So now you'll glue it onto your plane. Now it should look something like this at the back of your plane. Now we'll move on to the wings, which in my eyes is the hardest part of the plane. And just so you know, your plane should look like this. Now that you've done that, you'll want to get some extra cardboard like this, and then what you'll want to do is you'll want to make it into the measurements of the plane wing. So what I would do is I would get a pencil, because this is actually the hardest part. So you'll want to get your cardboard like that, and once it's like this, so you'll draw a straight line. If you have a ruler, perfect. Then what you want to do next is you just want to make a little triangle going down, but then stop at about there, because then you're gonna move it so it becomes big, like that. And then that. If it's not perfect, that's okay. But now what you want to do is you just want to cut it out. If you want to perfect it while you're cutting, that's good, because when I first made it, I didn't I didn't think it was good, but then I started trying in different ways, and I found this was an easy way to do it. But if it's too hard, that's okay, because everything is hard when you first try. Now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting it out, and it should look like this. Like that. It doesn't, that's okay. Then now what you want to do is, if you've got two that you've done, you want to stick it on the side of the tray. So you'll get this and you'll add glue. And I need another stick to put in the glue gun. Okay. Now you'll apply glue. And you're almost done. If you've stayed this long, thank you very much. It really helps me. Now you'll do the same with your other wing. Now you've done the wings and you've done the plane. Here comes the final part of your whole plane. Let me just glue the nose back on. If you've done the pipe cleaner way so you can move your nose around, the nose of the plane around, that's good. But now we're just going to do the simplest part of the plane, which is making the engines. And to do the engines, it's really simple, because what you do is you cut a bit of cardboard, just cut this off. Now you've done that, you'll cut a thin line, you'll cut a thin strip of it off. Then what you'll want to do is you'll want to cut a bit off like that, and then what you'll do is you'll cut it at an angle, and if it's like this, then you've done it, you've done amazing. And you'll just put a bit of your cardboard that you did before and trace it. Like that. Now you've done all of this. Good. But now what you'll do is you'll get cardboard, and however wide you want to make it, I'm only gonna do mine about this long, and you'll get your cardboard and just stick it on. Then if you have a little bit at the end that's shooting off, you'll just cut that off. And you want to do that with every one you have. And mine's a little long here, so I'm going to trim mine down a little. If you want yours a little bit high, you can leave it like that. But if you don't want it a little high, then you can cut it. Okay, now you've done this, what you want to do next is you want to glue it on to the back of the plane. But first, if you want to add details, like put the back on and add like the, well, I don't know, like the exhaust or something at the back, like the little circles, you can do that. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to make you wait a long time. But if you want to, you can. So you can glue the back on. And then you just glue it on. But first, if you want to add details, go ahead, because yeah, just go ahead. Okay. Now you've done that, you want to do the exact same that you did for this engine and do it to the other engine. And once you're done with that, well, your Concorde basically done then. And if you've watched this that far, thank you very much. Okay, now you put glue on, you stick it on about here on your plane, and then you want to do the same with the other one. I'll do it quickly for you. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Yeah, if you're done with this bit and you've done the other side, then you're practically done. And congratulations, you've just made your own Concorde. And now you've done the other engine, cut the bits of cardboard around it off. Now you do that and cut that off. Now you're done with the basic part of the engine, you can do the back. Okay, now you want to get your inside bit, and you want to grab this and you just want to stick it in, and it should look like that. And then you'll just glue it onto your plane, the wing on your plane. Okay. And you stick it on. And thank you for watching. You've just made your own Concorde, your very own Concorde. Thank you, bye.